This is Chris Lee of Southeastern 14, presented by the Bearded Iris Brewing Company. We're here to talk about Auburn's 10-4 win over Missouri in the SEC tournament on Tuesday night and implications from that. And you may ask, what's all that hammering you hear? That's the sound of the Auburn bats. Actually, it's the sound of my roof being replaced, but it could also be the sound of the Auburn bats, although there would be a little bit more of a ping to it. Auburn has just been hitting the daylights out of the ball lately. And that happened again last night. Auburn had, 17, 18 base runners. Cole Foster and Bryson Ware both hit home runs. That seems to be almost a daily occurrence anymore. For Auburn, I guess the only disappointing thing in this one was you would have liked to have seen a better outing from Tommy Vale. He goes 3 innings. He allows 4 runs, of just 2 of those earned. But the bullpen, Chase Isbell and Zach Crotchfelt, come through with 5 1/3 scoreless. That's been a theme for Auburn lately. I think as encouraging as the bats have been, the fact that Auburn has just found pitching in spots with different guys, it seems like every weekend, that is very, very, very encouraging as we head into the NCAA tournament time, and Auburn certainly is going to be there. Now, for Missouri, the Tigers, their season is over. And disappointing given the 3-0 start to conference play. I watched Missouri again in the Big 12 Challenge earlier in the year, in which it won 2 of 3, combined with that opening against Tennessee. I think Missouri was ranked, at one point. But Missouri, as happens every year, the league just beats you down. There's only so many wins to go around, and the Tigers, once again, still have not reached the NCAA tournament. I mean, yes, the field has not been announced yet, but we know Missouri is not going to be there. And anyway, just a disappointing season for Steve Beazer, their coach. I mean, I say disappointing. I think they had a good season, but the outcome maybe not what you want. I don't know if Missouri is or isn't making a coaching change. At some point, you need to get to the NCAA tournament. I think Missouri in several years has sort of been robbed in some ways, but that's just kind of what happens. There's only so many bids to go around and only so many wins to go around in the SEC. And shout out to Luke Mann, who ends his excellent career at Missouri. He needed one more home run to have sole possession of the school's career home run record. Didn't get that. But anyway, had a great career there, often unnoticed because of some of the other bats in the league and some of the other bigger name programs. But Luke Mann had a fine career in Missouri, and we salute him for that. Auburn will move on to face Vanderbilt in the Wednesday night game. TBA on that one. The Florida-Alabama game will precede that. That one starts at 4:30 Central. And look, with rain and the way that things have gone in Hoover, you would hope that Auburn-Vandy starts around 8 o'clock or maybe 7:30 if Florida-Alabama is a quick game. But, boy, history tells us don't count on that. So, in any case, Auburn and Vandy should play at some point Wednesday night. When that is exactly, we don't know. Now, I want to unpack some tournament implications for Auburn, but first, a shout-out to our sponsor, the Bearded Iris. The Sylvan Supply location that they are in is home to Black Dynasty Secret Ramen House. You'll find a wide variety of comforting bowls of meaty and vegan-friendly ramen with house-made noodles alongside rotating weekly features, seasonal sides, salads, and dessert. Check them out on their West Nashville location. Tell them you heard about it at Southeastern 14. Okay, Auburn. Auburn right now, I think everybody has got as an NCAA tournament host. I would agree with that. Let me give you some updated metrics on the Tigers after the win over Missouri. Auburn now 34-19-1. Of course, it went 17-13 in the Southeastern Conference regular season. If you want to count the tournament, that's now 18-13. RPI number 8, strength of schedule, RPI 14, strength of schedule 8. So all those metrics firmly place Auburn as a regional host under most circumstances. I think 34-19-1 is maybe a little lighter than you like it to be, but again, that strength of schedule explains a lot of it. Non-conference RPI and strength of schedule, those should not prohibit Auburn from hosting. 49-61 there. 8-10 on the road, 3-0 neutral sites. So Auburn now is 11-10 away from home. I think that's acceptable. Not great, but you've got a lot of teams that are bidding to host in that range. And then you look at RPI quads. Auburn is now Let's see. And by the way, 12-3 in the last 15. That is a criterion that the NCAA will have as it picks the field as last 15 games. You can see that on its criteria sheet that you can find online. So that is a very good thing for Auburn. RPI tiers. Auburn 6-9 against the top 25. That's not, you'd like to see it 500 or better, but that's not out of the ordinary. In fact, Miami is probably going to host 4-9 there. You got some other teams. You look at Coastal Carolina, 3-4, top 25 RPI. Some other teams, Clemson, 6-8 against the top 25. All those teams are going to host. So I don't think that should knock Auburn out of a regional bid. And then here's the one that I think is really strong. 13-6 against that 26-50 spot in the RPI. That is exceptionally strong. That gives Auburn, 19 wins against top 50 RPI teams. I think that's probably the, 5th, 6th, 7th best mark in the country. That is a lot of wins and an overall record above 500 against the top 50 by 4 games. 51-100, 8-1. That's really strong. And then 101 and up, Auburn is 7-3. That's a little bit of a blight on the resume, but not enough in my mind that should get Auburn knocked out of hosting a regional. You look at series wins. Auburn's got series wins over LSU, at South Carolina, Indiana, Southern Cal, all those at home other than South Carolina. You've got some single game wins over Texas A&M, over Florida. So those are nice too. Anyway, Auburn, I think right now, the problem is the SEC, right? We've talked about how there's 9 teams vying to host. I think Tennessee eliminated itself by being one hit by Texas A&M on Tuesday. So that probably leaves 8 teams vying for host spots. But frankly, I think Auburn, you're going to look at the national seeds. And I think right now, Wake Forest, Florida, Arkansas, LSU, and Vandy, all safe, probably going to be hosting 2 weekends. Vanderbilt might be the exception. Then I think if you look at teams after that, Auburn, I think, is in the next best shape, but you've got South Carolina, Alabama, Kentucky, all sitting there with resumes that are good in their own right. So how the committee sorts that out, I don't know, but I think that Auburn's 17-13 mark in the SEC regular season, along with the undisputed number 5 seed in the tournament, and, of course, a win in the tournament now over Missouri, is going to cement that. I mean, I don't think there's any doubt really, but, beat Vanderbilt on Wednesday night, and I think that moves into absolute no doubt, or just in case you're like 1% skeptical, which I don't know that I am, but just for argument's sake, there you go. Anyway, we will try to wrap up these games that have some significance on Wednesday as we go. The environment above my head, pending. It gets awfully loud where I'll be hammering at times, but in any case, thank you for watching us here at Southeastern 14. We'll have more videos coming. The best way to get those is hit that subscribe button. It costs you nothing. And hit notifications if you want to be notified when we do a baseball video or another video. And hit the like button. That helps our analytics too. All right, I'm Chris Lee for Southeastern 14. We'll see you again soon with more SEC baseball content.